Hello everybody, welcome back to the OAG RC. We are back to our TT02 builds. I've only got one of them on the bench at the minute because I need a bit of space because we're just about to sort out parts bag C for the standard TT02 chassis, which is over here. I'm going to separate all the parts out of there. I've bought myself one of these. It is a beads storage box. The reason I've got it is so when I open these bags, I'm going to put them all into the compartments in that bead box, so I don't get confused and I can sort things out into the appropriate screws and so on and so forth. I thought it's a good way of organising what comes out of a bag. I was using some metallic bowls, but I've realised over the years of building these things that that's not the easiest way to transport all your stuff about. And I've got a more complicated build coming up where you just have a load of part bags and you just open them all up. There's no instructions separate like bags like these. There's just bags of parts. So I figured getting something like that to sort them all in would be useful. Anyway, that's me waffling, isn't it? I'm not here to waffle. I'm here to build some more TT02s. So let's get started. I'm going to put the servos into both models. They should be pretty much identical. The only difference is the S comes with a high torque servo saver on the top, and this one's just got a standard servo horn on it. So I'm going to get ahead, put those in, take a look at what that looks like, and then we'll get on to installing some electronics. Servo installed on the TT02 with the steering mechanism all attached now. I have decided not to put the motor cover on. There is a scoop that attaches on, and goes on top of the motor and covers up the gearbox. I'm not putting that on because it can lead to overheating of the motors, and given that we're running this out on the Dusty Orchard Raceway as a rally spec, I feel that's going to be a mistake. I do have a cover that's going to go over the body shell, sorry, under the body shell, over the chassis to keep the dust out, and I think that'll be a better thing to do in the long run. So leaving those off for now. Right, let's get on to the TT02 Type S. On the Type S, you get a lovely high torque servo saver that goes onto the servo. One of the hardest tasks in RC is putting those metal bands onto the high torque servo saver. They can be quite tricky, so just watch your fingers. All installed. Difference here is another adjustable rod goes on the steering servo, where this side it's all fixed linkages in the steering setup. Looks a bit leaner, doesn't it, at the front end and also at the rear. Right, that is just pretty much done. Stick some wheels on and some front bumpers and we're pretty much there. So let's do that bit and we'll take another look. Some nice metal hexes going on to the Type S. The standard TT02 has plastic ones. So both cars are now almost complete. I've got the front bumpers to put on and I've got the body mounts to put on. But I'm not going to bore you with that. I'm going to do that off camera. What we've done is we've built up two TT02 chassis. One is the standard TT02 and the other is the TT02 Type S. Now, you can instantly see the difference in the suspension setup. Now we've got some wheels on. If I drop this one, you get a bounce, and if you drop this one, you get a nice damp. So which one do you think is going to rally better? This one or this one? Now what I will say, and you probably can't quite see it, I've pushed the two chassis together a bit more. You can see the difference in the wheels. Now I think that is actually a difference in the ride height of the wheels. That I think in turn is giving this one slightly more chassis height than the other one, and you can't see it there quite so easily. This might be a good example. So the screwdriver fits completely under that chassis, but this one, it just catches as it goes in. So it completely clears under there, no problem at all, but it catches on the other one. My hand can fit under that one, but it can't quite get under that one. There's probably only about 0.5 centimetre, a couple of mils in it, but the ride height is definitely higher over this side than it is on this side. So the question will be is, can I play around with the suspension settings, or If I swap the tyres over, does that have a difference in altering the ride height? I'm not going to faff around with that just yet. We'll do a full comparison side by side as we go. Now, what I'm thinking is I'm going to put these through a series of chassis tests. One of which will be out on the Orchard Raceway, going around and doing a lap. I might do a couple of speed runs up and down the drive. I also might recreate the Poor Boys RC Mark Bryan slalom test that they used for the Phaser versus TT02. A number of things that I can try and do just to see what the differences are in the way these two particular chassis handle before we settle on how we're going to convert this one into being our rally car for the Orchard Raceway. But I think it would be really interesting to see how these two chassis handle as they are out of the box. That's me for now. Thanks ever so much for watching. Hope you're enjoying everything that I'm doing. Keep an eye on the content. We're going on the Orchard Raceway with these in a couple of weeks' time. I think it's probably about time for us to go out and do some more Orchard Raceway series. So keep an eye on that as well in the future. Whatever you do, make sure you have some fun, and I'll see you all soon on the OAG RC. Bye for now.